Hello and welcome to episode 8 of Tales from the TARDIS Podcast. I'm your host Scott Summers, and today is going to be my commentary of Doctor Who Series 10, Episode 4, Knock Knock. Well, this was another great episode, and I just want to jump straight in with my commentary. So I have my copy up here. Unfortunately, I'm not going to get the chance this time to experience it. They've uploaded a copy to the iPlayer which has 3D surround sound, which is supposed to enhance your experience even more. I'm not going to be able to do it on this occasion, but I'm definitely going to give that a try at some point. But I have my copy ready, and let's go in 3, 2, 1, play. And at this point, I recognise a couple of the actors, but I feel like I'm going to forget all of these characters' names very quickly. And as we now go through the experience of students trying to find student accommodation. Which somehow just feels a tad realistic. But it's nice to see Bill with her life away from the Doctor for a change. And enter David Suchet, Poirot himself, who does just look evil in this episode right from the beginning. But interesting fact about this house, it's apparently two adjoining houses, and the other half of this house was where a lot of Blink was filmed. You definitely get the same sort of eerie mystery sense, and the same sense that something's going to go wrong. And our very short experience with Pavel. Really didn't have any sort of chance to get to know him. But you never know what they have planned for this show. Creepy haunted house though, it's quite refreshing. It's been a while since Doctor Who has gone really sort of dark haunted house. They had, I know, obviously Blink is definitely a big callback, and there was Matt Smith episode in his last series that had a sort of haunted house element. And it starred lovely little nice horror element there. It just be rolling into it blends perfectly into the credits. Just following off my little reference from earlier, Hired, of course, had a bit of a ghost story reference, and then obviously 12th Doctor was a real listen. I get a bit of a vibe, sort of similar episode to Listen. Hired, of course, had starred Jessica Raine, who went on to play Verity Lambert in An Adventure in Space and Time. I gotta admit, that's pretty cool. Just think. And obviously, Doctor's obviously used to his companions having a lot of stuff. I remember Donna walked into the TARDIS with these masses and masses of boxes. But yes, obviously this episode directed wonderfully by Bill Anderson, who had directed last week's episode, Thin Ice, and a lovely little Time Lord. Bill learns a bit more about him and takes the mick a bit. And yes, that's why he ran away. Oh, the big Gallifreyan Time Lord collars. Been a while since we've seen them. Actually, no, they did come back in the Hellbent at the end of the last season. It big collars. And of course, TARDIS can have postcodes inputted. Yeah, doesn't sleep that much. And Doctor just glosses over the regeneration question. Obviously, it's something we know we're going to see at some point this year. Definitely don't want Capaldi to go, but it's the way the show works. And yes, she wants to make a good first impression. And doesn't really need the Doctor walking in there with all of her stuff. And we find out the Doctor realises this very early on. But we realise there's no wind. And yet the trees outside the house blowing as if there was. You're not going to stop the Doctor, Bill. It's not going to happen. Still absolutely loving Bill. Yeah, he's the Doctor. Doctor, what? You're quite right, Doctor. You don't look old enough to be our granddad. Doctor. Oh, and called him grandfather, and that just love that lovely little Susan reference there. Doctor has a picture of Susan on his desk. Susan, of course, companion to the first Doctor, always called him grandfather. Just love it every time. And this is Harry telling a quick little story about his grandfather that tried to steal a bit of the Great Wall of China. Apparently a reference that, through the powers that be at the BBC, cut. Harry's other grandfather was going to be none other than Harry Sullivan, companion to the fourth Doctor. There was a reference cut, which, I mean, is just... I can't believe that they thought cut this reference. There's been a lot of references, and that just would have been so good. But to, have someone in here who is the grandson of a former companion, just even better. Would have been good if Harry had passed some help on to young Harry. This is tragic, really. He does Bill does break it to him later. This is nice. Nice little moment for Bill. Just when she thought it was all going well. And we hit the war creeks. And again. Puddles, eh? Robots, fish. Just clearly putting it in the timeline. Those 3 adventures we've seen. And another little sense of ear and mystery, and the lightning every time we see that house at night. It does make sense though. Why wouldn't you be nervous with no reception on your phone? After all, young people nowadays always on our phones. I mean, sort of, yeah. And then Bill travelled with the Doctor, visited an alien world and the past, straight through there, and everyone else through behind her. And I gotta say, at this point, I was waiting for the Doctor behind this door, really. I sort of expected it, and there he is. Seems to be going through this stage where the sonic screwdriver is also doubling as a flashlight. It does work out though. It's a very old house and a lot of wood. The sonic screwdriver really can't do much more than be a flashlight. No central heating. I mean, no washing machine. Power sockets don't work. I mean, come on. Oh, I do love it when the Doctor has these real, what I'd have to call doctory moments. Oh, Bill really wants... Bill so just wants, as every companion does when they sort of come back, just have a normal time and not have everything be an adventure that needs the Doctor. Oh, I do love the way they set up Suchet, where he just seems to waltz in unnoticed. The Doctor. Do you know that this is my second watch of the episode as I'm commentating on it? It really brings a whole new light on our landlord's motives and reasons. No, I don't think it was a cat. Might have been some I don't know, space lives. You don't get into the tower. Immediately sets it up as this big thing. We can't wait to find out what is in there at the end. No tower. Got it. Here goes the Doctor in. Oh, and I do love this. Harriet Jones. Harriet Jones reference for the win. Yes, I know who she is. I mean, that would have just been perfect if he'd gone, Harriet Jones, yes, I know who she is. Even the Daleks knew who she was. Which at the moment I'm just like, still going, yay, Harriet Jones reference. As references go, it's one of my favourites. I look forward to talking about a Harriet Jones story at some point. And the Doctor is now full on Doctor mode. Part of me almost thought he was going to snap out and say Susan. She kept calling him grandfather. The Doctor's never been good at remembering names of people who aren't his companions. But he's very good with phones. He can make them do almost anything, including apparently play Little Mix songs. This is about the only thing in this episode that I think might date it. Very good. Horror Haunted House Doctor Who episode. But I really think the amount of references to Little Mix songs in the episode date it is one of my... It's a real nitpick. One of my few issues with this episode. It's not personally against Little Mix, it's the fact that I think that will... date the episode really. And he knows. Doctor knows, but no one else has realised it. No, because he knows there's something going on. And we separate them into 3 and 3. Of course, we've got to keep the Doctor and Bill separate because we would not be interested in just following around side characters on their own. Scooby-Doo. Take that. This seems very Scooby-Doo. And this bit is just so funny. Bill just slips that one in there and utterly hilarious. Bye, Paul. It's not a sense you were the next one to go. After all, they did say it's the most expendable. Oh, love it when they knock back. And as soon as we get a different knock, that really changes their mood. You really know you're in a horror situation there when doors start slamming shut. You're not going to get a normal day today, Bill. You better run. And the Doctor with two other side characters, one of whom is the grandson of... Now I do wonder here, this Vokbot, is it a Robots of Death reference? I'm not sure. Might be, might not be. That door is not locked, it is sealed. What's the first thing you do in a haunted house film? You seal it in. Gotta say, I'm not normally a big horror haunted house sort of fan, but you stick the Doctor in it, I'll give it a watch and I will enjoy it. I just need a character to get invested in. We spent 5 minutes with Bill's housemates. I'm not too invested in them yet, apart from the ones I recognise from other shows. And she tries to make a break for it. I feel like that's a classic horror trope, because she's now stuck outside, they're stuck inside. Listen! It's an episode I think this reminds me of. Yeah, you should have just run. Because now you're getting sort of eaten by a tree. So, I think. Or both. I love this next line. It doesn't help. Don't be scared. Why not? It doesn't help. Oh, and just in case anyone wasn't 100% convinced that David Suchet's landlord was behind this, you're about to get a little reveal. I'm not talking about Pavel being in the wood. Well, I have to say, when they come up here, and he starts blinking, I've got to say, this just looks great. I thought it was going to try and be some sort of Morse code with the blinking, but that'd obviously be a bit too advanced. Yeah, I've got to say the visual effects in this episode, for the most part, I thought looked really cool. And here we get the landlord. It's taking him all. Oh, I wouldn't call it beautiful now. I'd call it an eating house, probably. He is the exception. wish that moment was in the trailer. But I do love it every time he brings out his tuning fork and just settles it on the wood. A little bit of logic there from Bill. It's good to see. And another in-show reference, as it were, there. Bill referencing Indiana Jones. Another fact, there was never sort of that exact thing, a book pulled off a bookshelf in Indiana Jones. Wood nymphs, tree spirits, dryads. You're right, Doctor, anything is possible. And of course, the only sensible thing he could do, he wants to try and he wants to know what he's facing, so he tries to draw one out, and he does. And yikes. Oh, he's happy now, isn't he? He's happy now that it's alien. And there's always some reason for haunted house. And at this point, this is, for the purpose of the story, I love it. Personally, I just never want to see that many bugs inside. Always waiting for him to say he'd part to the TARDIS in there, but probably better he doesn't have the TARDIS for this. And again, we sort of seem to see the sonic screwdriver used to say flashlight. Love that from the Doctor there. They are the wood. Infestation of the dryads. Well, yeah. They could be native, but they're probably alien. The Doctor's never come across them before. He names them the dryads. Could have called them space lice, though, Doctor. Space lice. Just the music, actually. There. You really get this eerie sense. If we find out there's a person there, a little glimpse at our mystery woman, as she once was. It's nice to see the Doctor and Harry, even if for a few minutes only because it's grandson of Harry's son. I was waiting for there to be some sort of reference in the names here. I couldn't quite find one. Maybe it's just the writer giving shout-outs to his friends there. Be a nice little thing for them. Infestation. Another one. Very specific, like 20 years on. Seems like quite a wide gap to me. Thought, maybe every 10 years or something, given that it only seems to take a night or so for the house to take them. that they're in the house. They're actually in. They are the house almost. He had no choice to keep her alive. The creatures, whatever you want to call them, saved her. Oh, Harry. His other grandfather definitely didn't pass survival skills on to him, I'm guessing. Bye, Harry. Now the doctor's on home with the villain, which means you better start running. Of what exactly? Oh, you can already tell the slow tease of the reveal with the two hands starting to make their way around. Hey, and here's Eliza, and oh, yikes. Definitely more reminiscent of the tree-like creatures in Doctor the Widow in the Wardrobe. If you want to have some sort of callback there. Oh dear. Space cockroach is more like, but it's in your shoe and your foot, and here they come. Bye, Shreen. Oh, I love the almost regeneration energy glow on Eliza. Yeesh. And look at this. The Doctor and Bill. Oh, two antagonists. Or one antagonist in the shape of our landlord, and the unsuspecting, unfortunate one. Yes, medical history. Yes. I've got to say, this acting's a bit wooden, really. So, sorry, I couldn't not make that joke. I think Doctor is... The sound is very good, Bill. Bill and the Doctor together, figuring it out. It's just so great when we see that happen. And as much as I'm not a fan of these space bugs, the visual effects behind them just look amazing. Come on, Bill. No, they don't. she's right there. He's not wooden. If he was preserved 70 years ago, he couldn't be, could he? Very clever, Bill. No flies on you, no bugs on you. Forgotten about that, didn't he, Doctor? Humans don't live quite as long as you. Don't remember the memories. It's not your father. Mother. And the switch here when we find out he's the son hadn't occurred to me. But we just a small glimpse of, obviously David Suchet is an amazing actor. The small glimpse of his range here. The emotion, you almost feel sorry for him, despite everything he's done. A tear was in his eye. See the tears in Bill's eyes there, obviously with her mother having died, and we potentially saw the Doctor's mother in the end of time. That's what that woman stood like in the Weeping Angel was supposed to resemble, and I think Russell T. Davis said. Just keeping her alive. I mean, I thought he was the alien. Oh, and then the anger again. Oh, the way he snaps there. Doctor, as your plan can't control couldn't even control them with your sonic screwdriver. There's too much wood in them, and as we all know, it doesn't do wood. But she is a wood, therefore she can control the bugs. She controls them. Probably 70 years ago. And they do. And how nice fireworks just at this time. From the freshest party in the park. What else? He's a bit old to go and see the world now. Oh, and stops. They will end back into the bugs. just the emotion here. A mother embracing a crying son. After all that had been done. I didn't mean for that to rhyme. And if they fall away, I do love the effect again of the bugs all falling away. And yeah, because I did sort of think all of her friends were just gone. I didn't mind too much. Liked a couple of them, but I was a bit indifferent about them, really. Who knows when we'll see him again, if we will. That is, I don't know, whenever another episode that takes place surrounding present day Earth, that is, and around the university. It might not be another one for a while. Back to the estate agent. And the vault. It slightly feels like a scene written by Stephen Moffat that got added to the end of this. But it was lovely, and it's nice to know that Bill and Nardo are talking on good terms. Nardo's very keen for the Doctor to be on Earth. This is the most we've seen of the vaults so far. We're only in episode 4. Really wants him to leave. Who knows what an android does. Lovely little bit of Beethoven there, which now does sort of make me think the Doctor spoke about the bootstrap paradox and Beethoven, even though he said that didn't happen, but that could be the Doctor in there. Now, just to theorise about what's in there. Given that the story includes death of young people and Pop goes to his and whatever's inside there is trapped, but Tojo just going there to visit. Well, very cool looking next time trailer. We finally get to see Nardo as a proper companion in this episode. Looks like the three of them are going to go on an adventure in space. Cool spacesuits, not the orange ones we're so used to, but it looks like the spacesuits are going to play into it, and possibly some sort of zombies, Bill. Facial effects there looked a bit like Walter Smart characters, but that's still next week. I'm definitely looking forward to that. But this is my commentary of episode 4, Knock Knock. And I absolutely loved it. I think it's my favourite episode of this series so far. Obviously, we've only had 4, but I've loved them all. So for this to come out on top is even better. My full review of this, which is going to be positive, I get the feeling that the negative points are going to be mostly nitpicking again, but I suppose that just shows how much I'm enjoying this series so far. Trust me, if you want to hear me talk about an episode I really don't like, that will probably happen during the off season, because I don't just want to be positive 100% of the time. I'll throw something in there just to change it up a bit. But yes, that episode will be recorded soon and out once it has been recorded. So until then, please leave a like, comment and subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes, including, of course, my review of Knock Knock and my episodes about next week. Otherwise, you can find me at Tales_TARDIS on Twitter or via email at talesfromthetardis@gmail.com. Thank you for listening. I have been Scott Summers, and this is Tales from the TARDIS Podcast.